My name is Brad Allen, and I'm an advisor at Drake & Associates. I started at Drake & Associates in 2015, so I've been here for about 10 years. I started with financial advising. My family went through something in 2008. My sister was just about to graduate from high school, and my parents had one of those 529 plans that they had saved the money in to pay for college, those kind of things. And 2008 happened. That was the year she graduated high school, and the market crashed, and everything that they had in that 529 plan went down pretty substantially, and that really kind of drove me into the industry at the time. Was trying to figure out how to help them in that situation and how to come up with ideas on how to make some of that money back, and certainly, that was a difficult time period for everybody. The more I learned about investing, the more I fell in love with it, and eventually got my testing done, became a financial advisor, and I started here at Drake & Associates back in 2015. And at Drake, we work in retirement, so everybody we work with is either retired already or they're getting close to it. And there were a lot of correlations between my parents' story and somebody going into retirement, right? You work so hard to get to this point in your life, and you're diligent about saving along the way, and the worst case scenario would be all of a sudden the market crashes right before you're in retirement or early in retirement, and now you're sitting there going, do I have enough? Will I be okay? What do I do now? And it's just been such a fun ride here at Drake, just working with folks who need that kind of help in retirement to make sure that they're, number one, growing, but also that they're protecting what they've worked hard to save. I love working with people. I get to know a lot of different families over the years, and just hearing different stories about how they got to where they're at and how they were able to save the money that they did and what they're looking forward to in the future going into retirement. Honestly, it's the people I work with that make this job fun. And what we do is very helpful to somebody that is going into retirement. It's a new season of life. It's one of the scariest seasons for a lot of people, because you're going into this new season of your life, and everybody's told you not to touch the money you've saved, and now you have to start drawing money out, and that's a scary thing in and of itself. But then you throw on top of that, what's going on in the world? What's going on in the market? Why is it so crazy right now? Should I be retiring? Should I not? One of my favorite things to do is to put together retirement plans for somebody and show them that, hey, you have enough money today to last the rest of your life, and to just see the weight on their shoulders be lifted a little bit. But then to take that a step further and say, okay, but here's what could change that, right? If you lose too much, or if this happens, or taxes get higher, whatever it might be, and here's a solution to those issues, right? So we're very much problem solvers here at Drake & Associates when it comes to retirement planning and solving the problems that you might not even see yet. There could be tax problems in the future that you have no idea about, and you won't have an idea about it for the next 10 years or so, but once it comes, you're not ready for it. And those are the kind of things that we're trying to prepare for today to have a better tomorrow in retirement. So just the process of kind of being that Sherpa for a client and guiding them up the mountain to get where they want to be, and whatever goals that family might have are our goals. Those are the goals we want to try to help them hit along the way. And it's a fun ride to meet a family who's nervous about retiring and be able to guide them through that, and then hear a couple of years later how much fun they're having in retirement. So if you're somebody who hasn't yet started their retirement planning, or maybe you have and you just don't feel like you have all the pieces in play yet, there's 5 key areas that we look at when it comes to planning for retirement. So the first one is investments. That's the obvious one, right? And most people have a good handle on their investments. They've been saving in their 401k. They have enough money today to last the rest of their life. They've been great savers, right? But that's not the only thing you have to think about. You have to think about, with those investments, how do you protect that in the future? How do you grow it in the future? How do you maintain where you're at so you don't run out of money down the road? But the next one is income planning. Where do you draw from first? When do you take Social Security? How does it all work? Well, how do those pieces, the investments and where you're going to draw from, how does that fit together? The next one is healthcare. Healthcare is a big deal. Medicare, A, B, C, D. You have gap insurance if you're not 65 yet. You have long-term care insurance in the future. Do you need it? Do you not? What does that look like for you and your family? Big one is tax strategies. A lot of folks don't think about taxes until it's too late. Early in retirement, you might be in the lowest tax bracket of your life, but later in retirement, you could be in the highest tax bracket of your life, and you need to know what that looks like, because there comes a time when it's too late to do anything about it. And then the last one is family. Do you have an estate plan? What would happen to your money if you passed away tomorrow, right? And it's never fun to think about those kind of things, but it's important to have a plan for it. So at Drake & Associates, when you're looking at all those 5 different pieces, how do they work together? It's called a holistic plan for a reason. It's not just one. You know, what you do with your investments is going to affect your taxes in the future. What you do with your investments is going to affect your healthcare premiums. All of this stuff works together. If you have a plan for one, there needs to be a plan for all of them, and it needs to be holistic and work together. So if you don't feel like you have that kind of plan right now, and honestly most people don't, and that's okay, it might be a good idea just to schedule an appointment and come sit down and talk to us. There's no pressure in our appointment. We're not expecting everybody to move all their money to Drake & Associates. It's a good one-on-one conversation to talk about some of these different areas that maybe you've never thought about, to be able to start putting that plan and tying that plan together. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.